Hello world, we're back again.
80s music put right.
Talking about good old Angela Trimble.
Angela Trimble. Yeah, she was adopted.
Have we done anybody that's been adopted
I don't
yet?
know.
She might be the
But
first.
she actually did look for her mom. And her mom was a concert pianist and still wanted nothing to do with her. Like, okay.
You know how old she is?
It's around 70.
She is older than Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite as old as
79,
Biden.
I think I saw.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so hard to believe. I mean, we realize our music was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Which when it was good, but my
Yeah.
goodness.
Now, before they were called, we were talking about Blondie. Well, you see the board back here, Blondie. Deborah Harry, not Debbie Harry. She did go to Debbie Harry because she kept being called Debbie Harry, so with Deborah Harry. But for a time, for 2 concerts, I think it was, before she became
were
Blondie,
something else. What
they
was
were
it?
called Angel and the Snake. Or Italian White Snake. A snake.
Oh, that's our tie.
Italian.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I said color, blonde hair, blondie, white. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Said 2 things. Anyways,
But most of their songs are late 70s, so that's kind of also, you know. Although their biggest hits
you know
are
what?
right around 80.
when you look at just the hits, they are similar to Men at Work. There literally is just a 3-year period that they were big in the
Yeah,
U.S. and that's
yeah.
it. But yeah, and you know what? We'll do another band shortly that's just like them. But it's interesting. Whenever there's a band with a woman leader, it's like they stand out. Now, 2 of the bands are women bands, but we did the Go-Go's. And for some reason, Belinda Carlisle stood out among them.
Yeah.
Same with our next band, which will be the Bangles. All-girl band.
Susanna Hoff stands out. You know, she wasn't the only singer. There was
Yeah.
another girl that sang
Right.
half the songs or
Yes,
lyrics.
but she stood out, and she did.
Some of the songs they both sang.
Right. And then you got this band, which was not an all-female band, but she stood out so much that she went on her own career.
Yeah, she had a solid career.
Not as
Started in
successful.
81?
Her
Yeah.
solo would have been as successful as Susanna Hoff's.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much.
somehow
Susanna
Belinda
Hoff, also,
Carlisle.
like Deborah Harry, started in some movies.
Yes.
The All Nighter, I think. Glenn Frey.
Yeah, it was not from his.
Speaking of albums and songs, one of their albums, I believe it's the last album.
Talk about Blondie or
Blondie. Last album Blondie did was called The Hunter.
Okay.
Before they did their
Right.
1999.
2 years earlier,
Their
Steve
first
McQueen.
song on that album, I believe, I'm getting all this information right, was Picture This.
Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis.
Which, if it came out in '82, that's the same year.
No, I am right. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. They had a song called Picture This. No, I'm sorry. The Hunter had a song, For Your Eyes Only, which was going to be the James Bond theme, but they turned it down.
I did see that. I didn't listen to it. But I
They
did
turned down that this song would be it for so they got Sheena Easton to do.
Right.
Sure, it's not the same song. I didn't listen to it.
And you know what? She could have did James Bond because she was.
I mean, Garbage did, and she's
I know.
similar. I
But
suppose.
Blondie was way bigger in the UK. So you would think that would
Oh
have
yeah,
fit.
British.
For some reason, in one of the albums, they put out a video for every song. We didn't rank those, only the hits.
Now, her name's Deborah Harry. Why was the band called Blondie? That was because when she was out on the street, drivers would drive by and catcall her, "Hey, Blondie!" Which maybe they looked over and thought, "Hey, there's Dagwood's wife." Her name's Blondie.
That's true.
She looked like her,
That's
maybe.
true. Was now in the
Was it actually a catcall? I don't know.
in the comic strip, that is actually her name.
Yeah.
Which is funny, you know that if you read the comic strip, it's really not even about her.
Yeah, well, I said...
It's always about Dagwood.
Yeah, well, was it called Dagwood in Sundays? I don't know.
No, it was not. All right, so and she wrote a book, and one of the interesting stories I read is that she escaped Ted Bundy.
Really?
Yes. Now, whether that's true, because the time period that she said that story happened, everybody believed he was in Florida. Doesn't mean he was.
Okay.
But she described the inside of his car,
Okay.
where the handle to the passenger door
Alright.
was removed, and
Okay.
that means they couldn't escape.
All right.
Somehow she escaped. Anyways,
Oh, so she started in movies too.
yes.
Most famous one probably for her was Videodrome with James Woods, David Cronenberg film.
Right, which was disgusting.
Yes,
Most of his
I
movies
saw it way back when. I just remember somebody inserting a videotape into their stomach or something like that, because it's like body horror.
Yes. Well, David Cronenberg's probably most mainstream movie
The Fly.
is The Fly. So
With
if you,
Jeff
if you
Goldblum.
know what that's like,
Yeah.
that's all his movies.
Yeah. His probably first famous film was what? Scanners? Was that him?
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe so. Where the head explodes.
Yeah.
And
But also, we talked about Deborah Harry before because you had brought up the movie.
Pat Benatar.
Pat Benatar.
We're watching the first 10 minutes of Pat Benatar.
Yeah, Union City. It was called a film, which is funny because
It was mainly her in it, not Pat Benatar.
she actually lived in Union City, New Jersey for a time.
Okay.
So that made me.
Well, she's got a song called the Union City Blues on her album, so, and that's the album that has the hardest part. So that song, so they released some songs in the UK, and then they released different songs in the US, which is weird. But that had the hardest part, which is one of the few videos where she's not blonde. She's got a black wig on, so.
Oh, well, speaking of videos, the very first time I ever saw Blondie was when we were watching Beavis and Butthead.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember seeing a video of hers. I remember them being on radio.
Yeah.
But the first time I saw a video was probably Rapture on Beavis and Butthead, where they're making fun of the video. The guys in the band dancing with her. It's like, who are these dorks? It must be like a contest. He's like, and the next guy comes like, winner.
And so, for some reason, that song is considered the first. Well,
Rap song.
Maybe
rap
not
songs
first,
to go to number one.
first rap song to go number one. Whether it's the first rap, what's the first rap song?
I don't know.
Was rappy? I mean, because what we know as rap
Yeah.
now was not back then.
Yeah.
No way.
And she had mentioned Grandmaster Flash or something like
Right,
that.
five Freddy.
Five Freddy.
I want to say Five Finger Freddy.
Could be. I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Anyways, but movie-wise, actually, Videodrome is what she's known to be in. Probably the most famous thing about movies would be that "Call Me," her biggest hit.
Oh, it's from American
is
Gigolo.
from American Gigolo.
Yeah, and it wasn't on. It wasn't on an album.
Not on any albums. It wasn't on the soundtrack.
It was on.
It wasn't on any of Blondie's.
It wasn't on.
albums.
Yeah, Blondie's albums. It was not on. It was on the soundtrack.
Do you-
only.
do you-
It was on the greatest hits, which I have. in
And
cassette form.
you know the middle keyboard part? You know who plays that?
No.
Harold Faltermeyer.
Oh, okay.
And he did that without the band's knowledge, and then it got so famous that the guy in the band had to perform it in concerts, even though they didn't like it.
Right. Like, I'm not able to. I'm not that good.
Well, I mean, a lot of people change up what they do in concerts.
Right.
Anyways, he's like, "Oh, fake it." He did something totally different. Anyways, since we're on the topic of "Call Me" or American Gigolo, not "Call Me," American Gigolo. Now that song was not originally for the movie, but they had originally asked Stevie Nicks to do a song for the movie. She turned it down, and then they went to Blondie. All right.
Yeah, why would she do American Gigolo and not a James Bond film?
You know, let's go through a list of actually movies she did. Now they appeared. I think the whole band.
She was in Hairspray. Yeah,
Hairspray. The whole band was in a movie called Roadie, starring Meatloaf. I don't know what they played though. And she must. So when she went on her solo career, she must like Michelle Pfeiffer, or she was friends with her. She did 2 movies of hers. She had a song in Scarface.
and Married to the Mob.
And Married to the Mob. Both hers.
Both about the. Well, no, the one's about the mob. Scarface, was he a mobster? He was.
Well, he was
his own thing.
kingpin in Mexico.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. She starred in Satisfaction, which is notable for being Julia Roberts' film debut. And then what else? She's also been in Copland with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, as a waitress.
And then
I saw that film.
Elegy
Pretty good
was
film.
one
I
of
don't
her
remember
later
her.
one. Elegy would have been a later one with Penelope Cruz and Ben Kingsley. So, and she did appear in 3 episodes of Wise Guy, which I've never seen. So, yeah. So she had that again. That's when she went solo. Blondie only had the one song for "Call Me," but her on her own, she would have had a lot more to do with movies. All right, so I think that's all I have to.
Yeah, it's
Until we get to each particular song. So let's get to the top 10. All right, we don't have any honorable mentions.
why? Because there's only 10 songs.
Because there's only 10 songs,
Okay.
just barely. And I actually, when you look at it, like the American hits, the ones we know, you go to UK and you probably had 20, but I don't know those songs. So we're limiting it to our 10, including her solo career. So number 10 comes from Cuckoo. For Cocoa Puffs. Is that how you say it? You're saying cuckoo? Kookoo. Koo. And
Oh yeah, okay.
the album is controversial, I guess, because it showed her face and skewers going through it. I'm sure the skewers weren't actually going through her face. Somehow the artistry got it, but if you look at it, it looks like it's going through her face. Yeah. So, but the song is "The Jam Was Moving," which came out the same year as Rapture. So she did her solo the same year. The last big hit was still on the radio.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see. I pretty much ranked her solo hits at the bottom.
Yes, I know. By the way, that song title, "The Jam Was Moving," I mean, if your jam is moving, it's expired, throw it out.
Is it like we can make a meme with that? You know how they would take that song "Pump Up" at the jam,
Yes.
and they'd have a jar of jam and they would pump it.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a movie called The Stuff.
Right.
Maybe this song is you eat it and it moves and
Yeah.
it's your
No,
insides.
I like that movie. That movie is
Yeah, that was a good movie. You gotta check it out. All right, but yeah, "Jam Is Moving," not a memorable song, but like I said, her first hit after she went on solo. Speaking of song,
obviously jam. They're talking about a song.
yes,
Music.
correct.
Not
Jelly. What is the difference between jelly and jam?
jam is supposed to have more preservatives. I think, in
Okay.
it.
All right. There you go. There's your nutritional.
Like gel, like you might get fruit bits in jam. I think.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds about right.
I do not like jam. I like jelly.
All right, Dr. Seuss.
Kind of like applesauce. If you give me chunky, I'm like, ew.
I like chunky.
I don't like chunky applesauce. So,
All right.
that's a rabbit trail right there.
That is. Number 9, coming from Auto American. Yes, I believe it's Auto American, not America.
Yeah, the album where they're all leaning against a
Rooftop.
Is it a rooftop?
The edge of
I thought it was like a fence, and there was a river beside them.
Okay, I didn't see the river.
No, you're probably right. It's probably a rooftop.
Okay, but the song is Rapture, one we just talked about, and obviously it's a rap song, which is why it's called Rapture.
Well, it's probably talking about the emotion, anyways, not the Christian theology of
Right.
we're taking out here.
Like ecstasy.
Yeah.
You got the drug ecstasy, but you have the feeling of ecstasy, yes.
Yes.
By the way, we both put "The Jam Was Moving" at number 10.
Okay. Yes.
Rapture, I don't like as much as you, but barely. You had it at 8, and I have it at 9.
Okay.
For being a number 1 hit, and also for being a rap song, it is incredibly slow to be a rap song. Which, if you could, most rap songs that are not out now are fast, and I could not even keep up with the artist doing the rap.
All right.
Like Weird Al's hardware
store.
I couldn't do that.
M&M's.
This one I could do.
M&M's little bit in the rap god.
This one I could do because it's very slow. But that's the reason it's down so low is because it's so slow because it's very bland and boring.
Well, you listen to her rap. There's no shootings and killings around nights or whatever. There's no street cred.
It was early 80s.
Yes.
So that's why. Okay. Number 8, coming from another solo album. The album being Rockbird. It's French Kissin'. Or it's French Kissin' in the USA. I've heard the title both ways. Which I guess you would need to differentiate.
Because if you're in France, it would just be kissing.
Correct. It's like we have lots of French things, like French fries. What do they call them in France?
Wait, what's the song, Taylor?
French kissing.
French kissing. Well, okay, so they do differentiate in the styles of kissing.
Well, the style's different, but if it's in France, it is just kissing. Just like French fries over France.
Or just fries, yes.
Belgian waffles over Belgium, it's just waffles. Okay, anyways, I have this at 8.
Yeah.
You have it at 7.
You heard the French fries were not originally from France, right?
Yes.
They were first made in Greece. You've never heard that?
I've heard that too. It's been a while since I heard that. All right, number 7, coming from Eat to the Beat. It's the hardest part, the one I just mentioned, where she has a black wig on. And tell you what, if you didn't like Blondie, you watch that video, you suddenly like Blondie. She's good looking. Skinny, but she was good looking.
You know, when I saw how skinny she was, it reminded me of Olivia Newton-John.
Correct. Yeah, she was very skinny too. But this, I had this at 3. You have it at 12. So actually, we could have had some.
We must have had more.
Oh, you know what? Well. I am wrong. We do have an honorable mention. Oh. You know who I'm thinking of?
No.
Next week, the Bengals.
Okay.
Here's the honorable mention, the one you like, because I just read your 12, Atomic.
Okay.
So we do have, got messed up there, but Atomic is our, and I don't like that song. The way she screeches in it is why I don't like it. Anyway, so no, you had this one at 12. I had it at 3 because it's her most rockin' song. They had a lot of genres. They had obviously rap, disco, what's the Caribbean one?
Tide is High.
Yeah, Tide is High. So she was all over the place. This is rock and roll here. So yeah, a lot of variations. So hardest part I like, and but I don't get the video where all the guys seemingly are in the suits that Jay Giles wear in freeze frame when they're painting. Maybe they borrowed it. I don't know because it was around the same years. All right, number 6. Coming from Auto America. By the way, let's go back to the other one. The album is called Eat to the Beat. Does that mean you pick up?
Oh yeah. How fast do you have to be eating to do that?
It
has to be an eating contest.
I can eat to the Rapture.
Well, okay. Is it fork mouth? That is quick.
Yes.
Or is it which way? Chew. I don't know.
Yes. Anyways, just a question. We thought to throw it out there.
Yes. We're just trying to define what does that mean.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So back to this. Number 6 was the tide is high, as opposed to tide is low. There are low tides. I don't know what the difference is. It has something to do with the moon. Is the moon mentioned in the
according to Rush, they're red tides.
Also in 1980, this is another one of their number ones. They had 4 number 1s. So I had this at 7. You had it at 5. And this was a cover song by a band called the Paragons, which I should have looked it up. I don't know what a paragon is. What it sounds like is like a shape.
Yeah, it's not a shape.
Like the pentagon, octagon, paragon.
The Paragon isn't it a martial arts film? Or that's the octagon.
That's the octagon with Chuck Norris. No, you're wrong. All right. Okay. Next. No Exit, number 5. Album is called No Exit, and if you look down and behind us, that was like 17 years later after they disbanded. They reunited. And they had a song called Maria. And I just mentioned Men at Work. Men at Work had a song called Maria. This one's way better. Nice and fast. 1999, I had this at 4, you had it at 6. So she, right before the turn of the century. And just think, one more year, Bon Jovi had It's My Life.
Right.
She had a song that ranked on the charts. Go figure. All right, number 4, coming from Eat to the Beat Again, is Dreaming. Again, this song is way better than Dreamer by Super Trio.
It's not as good as, well, maybe you'll have to hear it again. Dreams from
Van Halen?
Oh, yeah, they did have dreams. No, who had Linger and
Cranberries.
Cranberries. Yes, I couldn't think of their name.
Okay, so I had this one at 5. You have it at 4. The chorus part is memorable. You know, dreaming.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a sing-along song. Okay, that was number 4. And we only have like 2 songs at max for these albums. Number 3, coming from Parallel Lines, which again.
Well, you saw the album cover. They're standing there, and behind them there's a black, then there's white, and
yes,
there's black, and there's white. So that's the
now
parallel
I
line.
understand parallel. You can have parallel lines, and you can have like curvy lines and stuff. But can you have anything that's parallel besides lines?
Parking.
Okay, prove me wrong, and you did. Anyways. Heart of Glass was your number 1. I had it down at 6.
Right. And this was written for disco.
It was.
And also, they kind of were doing it in the style of Staying Alive.
They were. And
imitate the Bee Gees.
And this song apparently got more popular when it appeared on WKRP in Cincinnati. And so much so that Blondie actually sent them like a plaque, a gold plaque.
Okay.
Like they won an award or something.
Okay.
And it was on a full season in the background.
Yeah, I figured they probably put it in
the DJ area. Yes.
Yeah. Now, you would die immediately if you had a heart of glass, because that heart needs to beat. Well, okay, I guess you could put some machinery in there that would pump it, I suppose.
Think about that. Let's challenge you on this, okay? Now, okay, so you can get a heart transplant.
Yes.
Does it necessarily have to be somebody else's heart?
No, that's why I said
They've made heart.
It could be an artificial.
They've made artificial
glass heart that has machinery in it that pumps.
But yeah, glass is probably your last choice of material to use.
Right, yeah.
Because if it did break, you are in pain.
Well, all you need to, you get in a violent car accident.
Now you know, instead of a heart of glass, you have shards of glass in your body.
Yes.
Okay, gruesome. Number 2, coming from the same album and also a number 1. Well, no, actually, this was not a number 1. Should have been a number 1, in my opinion. How wasn't this higher than it was, though? I think it was like 27. One Way or Another. And I had this at 2, and you have it at 3. And it, this sounds like a threat. One way or another. Want to do this the easy way
Or the hard way? Yes.
The hard way. By the way,
Yes.
there was a show called Killer Karaoke with Steve-O from Jackass.
Yeah, I remember that.
This song was the finale song.
Yeah, they had
3 guys competed on the turn.
Well, they had to sing while doing weird things, like they would put it. There's a box up ahead that had a place for the head. They put it through, and in the box was like spiders or something, and they had to keep singing the song.
And that's why the show, as funny as it was, the show failed, I think, because most people didn't sing as they kept going. But anyways, on this one,
no, they screamed.
These three guys had to stay on this moving thing while they sang, and the last minute man standing was the winner. Okay, so one way or another. And that leaves us our number one, which I put as number one. You have it too because you liked Heart of Glass first. And that would be their biggest song of their career, Call Me. And yeah, I have it one, you have it two, coming from American Gigolo. And I believe that's it.
Anytime. It's one of those.
Yes. Yes. Not the one that Carly Rae Jepsen sang.
All right, call me maybe.
Yeah, this one, there's no maybe. Call me. Okay, and this was before texting, so
yeah, you can only call. Call me if I don't answer. It means I'm no, because I don't have a phone on me.
Now, did they have answering machines back then? I can't remember.
When did the answering machines come out?
I don't know. Maybe. Because actually Three's Company played in the late 70s, and I think they had an answering machine to play, and it was always funny. So yes, it would. Now, if I would have just thought about that, yes, they had answering machines. So call me, leave a message if I'm not home. All right, so like I said, next week is the Bengals, so we continue on the path of notable women.
Cincinnati Bengals? Bengals.
Bengals. Yes.
One's a tiger, one's a...
Right. And I think their band, can't remember, their band probably lasted as long as Blondie.
Blondie, yeah.
Just at the tail end of the 80s, not the beginning. So there you have it. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.